This is shot on an iPhone, and this is shot on the camera. No matter how good a smartphone gets, it will never replace this. So I absolutely love my iPhone. I think it's the best smartphone to get in the world. The software support, the battery, the performance, the durability on this thing is so reliable. And video quality on the iPhone is still king. However, if you are creating content, no matter how good the video quality is on your smartphone camera or any DJI camera for that fact, every single piece of tech, at least in this day and age, still has to obey the laws of physics, meaning a professional camera like this one will always have a bigger sensor compared to the ones you see on your smartphone camera, and because of that, it would do a much better job in controlling and taking in more light than a smartphone camera would. So if you want to learn or you are thinking about getting your first ever camera, I'm here to help you decide if it is the right decision for you to make from a content creator's perspective, or if you just want to learn about smartphones and camera, and stick around. When I'm filming content for social media, having a consistent video quality that I can rely on is so important. So when people click on my video, I think they kind of expect a certain quality or standard, or if they're a new person watching, when they click on my video, their first impression of me shouldn't be too bad, I think. And having a professional camera like this one would definitely help me to achieve that. The cinematic visuals, the sharpness, the clarity, the details coming out of this camera is just so good. It doesn't feel over sharpened. The background is nice, soft and blurry, and the color science on this Sony camera is absolutely unmatched. Like, it's just so good. So if you ask me if you're planning on taking content creating seriously, picking one up definitely feels like a good idea. So what do smartphones do to try and keep up? In order for a smartphone to try and keep up with a proper camera and market themselves as a cinematic camera, things like that, since they can't really do much innovation in terms of hardware due to the physical limitation of fitting a camera inside such a small device and into such a flat little box, these companies have no choice but to try and upkeep the camera performance more towards the software side. So the main primary focus is to get better at their AI technology, their machine learning algorithms to make their pictures and videos look more cinematic, which does work to a certain extent. Sometimes if the lighting is right, the videos do turn out pretty cinematic and sharp and nice and clean. And I think Apple did a really good job with their software, because all the videos coming out of it is really reliable and consistent, and I really do think it's passable. And it's what the general consensus are in today's society, is that the Apple videos coming out of smartphone cameras, not just Apple devices, they do pass. Like, they are actually really good. But where do phone cameras fall apart? What separates a good quality visual from a smartphone camera versus like a proper camera? Most images coming out of your smartphone have that smartphone feel or look to it. And to kind of explain what that means is that smartphone cameras tend to appear a little bit more over sharpened compared to a normal camera. Sometimes they have these like HDR flickering effects, the skin smoothing effects, and just inconsistent colors across the board, and because the sensor size is a lot smaller compared to proper camera, so it can't take in as much light into the sensor, so just the details and the visuals coming out of the camera, if you zoom in hard enough, it does look like it's like a watercolor painting. Like, it just doesn't really look as sharp and natural and detailed, and so that could ruin the video experience, and that would come off a little bit more like amateur-ish. With that being said though, I think most people generally wouldn't care too much about how the visuals look. Honestly, like, most people don't even know what I'm talking about. So I think it's only like people like me who like have used like smartphones and cameras for a long time that can kind of notice these differences. But if you're just a general consumer, I just don't really see a world where like those normal type of people would actually like pay attention too much into like the lighting and depths and colors and things like that. Like, honestly, I don't think people really care that much. But generally, like, I think like if it's a good quality visual, like something like this, like, people would generally appreciate it more. But if they're not looking for it, I think they just don't really care. So take that as you will. Maybe I'm like overthinking it, but yeah, it is what it is. It's just something for you to take note, I think. And I know certain channels that only uses iPhone to shoot their content, and they have like hundreds and thousands of subscribers, and the overall quality of the video looks really good. I just feel that for most people, you are probably going to make content within the educational side of things, and if nobody knows who you are, having like nice cinematic visuals will definitely help your videos to appear more engaging, especially if nobody knows who you are, like just like me. Like if you're watching this, you're probably seeing me for the first time. You know, since I'm filming this on like a proper camera, I feel like you're more inclined to watch a little bit more, you know. This is what I think. I might be wrong though. I don't know. And owning a camera has been like the best investment I've ever made for myself, my business, my content creation career, as well as my personal life, because, you know, I've gotten some really nice, good photos because of this camera, and, you know, I put down my dating profile, and, you know, got a couple matches, and that's where I met my current girlfriend, like on Hinge, you know. And I think like this camera like definitely helped me because, you know, gave me nicer photos, which like it's like more aura, I think. Sorry, just a little bit off topic. So apart from that, I think something that you also have to consider is that cameras are made solely for content creation, you know, are solely made for taking pictures and videos. Like, it's not trying to help you send text messages or play video games on or stream like videos and movies on. It's solely made for content creation. So when I pick up a camera, my mindset automatically shifts to like content creation mode. Like, how do I get good lighting for this picture? How do I frame this shot nicely? You know, how do I what focal length do I want to use? What ISO, what aperture do I want to use? And I think because of this, I think my videos tend to turn out a little bit nicer because I become a little bit more intentional with how I do things with my camera. And, you know, if I'm just using like my smartphone to like shoot content on, I just feel like I wouldn't take it as seriously. Like every time I use my smartphone to film videos, like it just doesn't really turn out as nicely. I don't really feel as creative or motivated to like, you know, try to frame it nicely, take a nice shot. Probably because I don't have much control over the camera settings, so there's not really too much I can do. And I think because of this, my videos tend to turn out a little bit nicer because I feel like I take my work a little bit more seriously, and, you know, compared to just like whipping out my iPhone and like taking a picture or video. However, to play the devil's advocate a little bit, yes, I do think that professional cameras can output better visuals and more cinematic visuals, but it definitely takes a lot of practice to kind of learn and understand how to use your camera and the tools required to get the most out of your camera. And that itself is also pretty complicated. And I'm not gonna lie to you, like cameras are expensive. Like, they are not cheap. The tools for them, the lighting, the tripod, the lens is definitely not cheap. And it really does take a while to kind of learn and understand how everything works. And to give you guys some example, you got to understand how far apart or how close you want your camera to be to get a nice shot. You got to understand what lighting you want to use and how soft the light is, or how hard the light is, the angle the light is shooting onto you, the height of your camera that's shooting onto your face, the different settings and how to adjust the settings based on the color temperature, based on the lighting that you have, based on the shot you want to take. Once you nail that down, once you nail down the basics and fundamentals of how your camera works, then honestly, like, I really do think you'd be unstoppable, because then you can get shots like these, and holy macaronis, this looks really sexy. The camera that I'm using, you're probably wondering, is the Sony ZV E10. You probably heard about this camera before, and I'm not going to turn this into a review video, but for under $1,000, this is by far like the best camera you can probably get, you know, for content creation. You know, sticking to like $1,000 for a camera, I think it's like the sweet spot, because you're gonna get the most quality out of it without having to spend like $2,000 to $3,000. That's really all I have to say. But what do you think? Do you think owning a professional camera is worth it in 2026, or would you want to stick with your smartphone camera? If you want a video about the ZV E10, let me know in the comments down below, and I'll make a review video for it, because I definitely want to talk more about this camera. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. See you guys in the next one. Take care and peace.